Morning. Right, just a quick one then. So we're going to go do a brief tutorial on Rimatomics, how to set up the basic power. I'll do weapons on another video afterwards. Okay, right, so here's a little test base that I made. Step one, you're going to want to go onto Research, Rimatomics tab, and just open up. You just need high-tech bench, and it's just the tab itself. It's just to unlock it. As a separate research tab. What are you doing? Just moving floor? No, you're not. Work. Yeah. So I'm just gonna. I'll probably just let that run through manually, actually. Okay, so when that finishes, it will unlock this this new Rimatomics tab here at the bottom, and you get this drop-down message, just like a letter opening thing, and it also unlocks this architect tab now, Rimatomics architect tab. And the first step you're going to want to do is create a Rimatomics research bench. Doesn't need anything special, just stealing components, and we're just going to dump that there. Okay, so got that one completed, and basically on the research tab, this research tab on the bench itself is the same as the one at the bottom here. The first thing you're going to want to do is research reactor. Well, if you're trying to rush to the power bit of it anyway, you can get radiation suits and detectors if you're playing it a little bit safe or something like that. But yeah, this also, in order to get that, you need to purchase the research step. So you're going to want a bit of silver just next to a trade beacon. And the other thing you can do as well, once you've got this research bench created, you can request a trade ship, and that's just a Rimatomics trader where you can buy the steel and uranium supplies, but obviously it costs 1,000 each time you summon them. So what are you doing? Oh yeah, you can prioritize this as well. Okay, you can, if I start project, you can actually set that, unlike the regular bench. So I've just got camera mod on, so you can see progress bars on that, and the progress bars on there. Yeah, basically each time you get a step completed, you get this. It tells you the requisites for each step. So intellect 7, you can't just have any old person just doing research on these. I won't open the architect tab because I've got the dev mode on, so it's going to I can just get rid of that, actually, I think. Yeah, so research reactor, that's the one. And this is it effectively acts as a multi-analyzer, so uranium, silver, steel, whatnot. Yeah, see, it's just research factor plus 10%, and we've got constructor research reactor step complete. Install reactor software and perform exercises while testing reactor capabilities. So that's just research at that, I think. Is it? Install reactor controls. Yeah, so it's just another research step in effect. What I'm going to do is just quick time that. I don't want to open up the architect tab with this open, with dev mode open, because it will just, yeah, it looks completely different. So that's just an option of, sorry, God mode, not dev mode. New steps available, and each new step, each sort of milestone, you're going to need to just purchase the research again from the. Okay, carry on. Purchase train. So pretty much the first step of each one of these is going to be, for example, similar to this sort of research bench, where they're just doing something at the bench, pretty much. Give them a bit of comfort. Okay. In fact, I'm just going to pause the video and let him complete that anyway. Okay, so there you go, he's completed that first little first little step there. So skilled researcher needs to experiment with the research reactor. So don't think it can actually have catastrophic failures on this particular one, because only the research reactor, that's not actually a live power producing or heat producing thing. So yeah, I don't know, maybe there is a chance of some failures or something, or a chance of injury, or chance of radiation. Let's have a look at that. No, he's got no radiation build up. Yeah, so he's prioritising that. Step complete. Yeah, that was that first step. And that's just quite a lengthy stage. I'm going to skip it again. There we go. So, right, the next bit of the research, you're going to want an actual dedicated room for your reactor core. This is the real core now, when you finish with the research reactor. So what you're probably going to want to do is have it somewhere away from the actual base. So if it does blow up, you're not actually going to, you're not going to take a lot of damage from it, or a lot of fatalities. So let's just put together this little room, something like that. We can replace these later for some sort of depleted uranium doors or something, but for now this will do. Let's just have a bit of a concrete walkway as well, just tidy the place up a bit, something like that. There we go. And not to confuse anything, I don't want to open. Yeah, so reactor core type A is the basic one, and it's just steel and components. And that's him there. So you're going to want on core type A. Step complete, is it? Oh, I need to actually let time pass. Ah, it needs power, right. I forgot. Yeah, so if you if your core shuts down, safely gets switched off to shut down, then it's going to need some power to actually be kick-started again. So you're going to want to keep some regular power on your base still. You can't completely replace with this. Right, what was the next step then? So we've got build a reactor core. Oh, it's powered. I don't know why that's not coming on. Yeah, I've worked out what it was. You need construction level 7, so the step doesn't even trigger until you've actually completed this. So what's it doing there? Constructing. No. Did I mess something up? Ah yes, so you need to, yeah, sorry, that's what it means. So once you've got the framework, it builds this. This is effectively like a completed blueprint. I forgot about this step. So it actually progresses on the research bench or research tab of your Rimatomics research tab, but you got your constructor working on this effectively as the step. Dear. Step complete, right. So, believe it's the turbine next. Yeah, turbine generator. Now, with these, they can generate up to a maximum amount of power each. Sorry, for a small turbine generator, and the actual blades from these have to be produced from the machining table. So we're just going to set one of these up in here. Yeah, like so. And this is it. This is also where the what they're called, the radiation things are produced, the radiation suits. So yeah, it just requires steel, 10 steel per 50, how many is it? 25 turbine blades, something like that. Or is it one blade? Work them out 15, I can't remember. Let's try and get him to... Let's see, is it steel, S... I'm pretty sure it's like a stack of blades rather than one. Yeah, stack of 10, so it's one blade, one steel, but it takes the work to create them. So I'm just going to quickly go and make a couple of generators. Right, so it's just the basic little Thor turbine. Again, it just needs a little bit of power, as in standard base power, but when you want to connect these, okay, I'll put it through its normal god mode. So all this lot basically is unlock one stage at a time. And if you go on to connect the reactor to the turbine and cooling system, so what it means is you need to connect both steam pipe and coolant pipe to from reactor to turbine. And the main advice I would have with this is basically don't just have a single connection, or maybe don't have both connections going the same way even. So for example, if there's a explosion on whatever building's over here, it takes out these pipelines, then this would very quickly overheat because it's not it's not able to vent the steam. The other one then is the cold water. Sorry, cold water, not coolant. That's one step complete. Build a cooling system. So, the cooling system is the 3 standard ones. You've got the water cooling. This is one that needs to be actually connected to a river or lake or ocean. And the easiest way to do that is to get it so you've got the blue square has got to be in water, and the rest of it's all got to be on available land. So you can't just have a tiny bit of it on land. Okay, and then that's coolant, not cold water. So coolant goes, again, you probably want a backup in case a raider was or there was a fire or explosion around here, or even just a mortar shell hit it. You just want, so there can't be sort of collateral damage to kill that coolant pipe in one hit. And the other options is a radiator. These can be placed indoors or in an indoor space or under a mountain, and these connect to the coolant pipe and they will they need basic power, and these provide heat basically, but they take a lot of electricity to run. So I'm actually just going to switch that one off, and this one as well needs basic electricity. So that's connected, 550 watts. And the next step then, so we've got research bench, build a power transformer and control computer. So the control computer is the last thing you need to connect, and basically you can't switch it on until you've got the control computer. So what was it? What was it called again? Oh yeah, high voltage transformer. This thing. So this wants to connect from the turbine, and you can actually run long transformer cables around. These are the These are the ones that don't share a short circuit event with the regular power. They have the transformer over voltage, but it's very high power compared to a typical Rimworld base. So at first, certainly one transformer is enough until you know what you're doing with them anyway. But later you're going to want more. If you've got more turbines, you're going to want more transformers to split the load. And basically from these act as a power generator from there on. So whatever gets generated by that through the nuclear power gets put back into the grid. But obviously if that isn't generating power, then this switches off, this switches off, this switches off, and that's where you need the kickstart. Right, control computer. Now this is the reactor console. Control computer, reactor console, same sort of thing. This is something that you don't really want to be put in way away from your base. Ideally, you actually want it in a common area where a lot of people can get to it fast if you need to change settings or whatever. And the way you connect that to the reactor is you have these console looms. It's only 3 steel per one, so again you can just run the cable, ideally through walls so it can't be damaged in a tantrum or whatever. And you can create backup cables, but it's entirely up to, I mean, how much redundancy you want on them. I personally just have the one on the reactor console. So step completed. That is the research side of it all completely set up. Now to get this turbine actually kicking, what you want to do is take your colonist and go, when that power's up, manage reactor. Well, from this it opens up that screen. You can actually pause it from there, and you designate the areas where you want to install rods. So you've got 2 types of fuel rods. You can mix them. At first it doesn't matter what you do, to be honest, and one's enough just to get started. So you're going to want to create one of these. Now when you click start, that issues the order to haul a normal reactor rod into the center point of the Type A reactor. So let's just draft him away. Okay, whatever. Now what you want to do is create uranium fuel rods. Now this just takes uranium pellets, silver, steel. So uranium pellets are created as well on a separate bill, and these just take 10 uranium. So you want to go to until and then swap over or whatever. But for now I'm just going to get rid of this guy. What are you doing here? Okay, just to speed up time again. Oh yeah, of course I've got no material. Yeah, I'm going to create a fuel rod then. Where are they? Try to place near thing. Fuel. Now, whilst these are unspent, they're perfectly safe to actually pick up, and effectively this is just treated as a stockpile. So I've told him to haul them now, and there's no storage location, so he's going to take that to the reactor. Oh, I do have a storage location, I forgot about that. What have we got here then? Let's have a look. Ah yes, I've worked out what I've done wrong. So what I've actually just had to go and do is basically, because I started that reactor, it was in the online mode, and basically you can't haul these blades to, oh yeah, he's going to haul that to the stockpile, but you can't haul the blades to it whilst it's active. So what you can do is click scram, and that just stops the reactor, and they then become haulable to the reactor. So he's going to do that now. There you go. Now we can start it up. There you go. You got. Oops, don't want to take that out. What am I doing? I'm clicking everything. Okay, so if I start it up, you can't take them out. What we've got here? Yeah, I think I messed up when I accidentally clicked to take it out. So just try and, as soon as he wakes up then, in fact, has he even got any needs? No, not really. So we're going to scram that, and then when it's scrammed, you can actually remove rods because it's in the offline mode. Already removing, yeah, go for it. See, they're still 100%, so they're completely unspent. And because there's no order to put them in there, he's trying to take them to stockpile zone 1, which we're not going to let him do. So let's try that one last time. Fuel rod in the middle, close. And then you can go and start the reactor. Oh, we'll get there eventually. Now, what I want to do here is go and increase this. I'm just going to start it off at 5% or so. You can actually use this little slider just to very, very gradually increase or decrease the percentages. So that's a very, very stable temperature there. Now let's see what that reactor's doing. Sorry, that turbine. So RPM 2, extremely low capacity, so that's like a super safe way to start a reactor. Yeah, and cooling capacity 0.03%. So what we're going to do is crank that up when he hasn't ran away from the thing. We're just going to go round about 75%. So this is all staying running all the time, and every time you move this slider it just moves live basically. So that whole time that I was in that screen, the game was running and time was running. Let's see what we've got. Thermal energy. There you go. Right, so that's the maximum you can get from one rod. So we're just going to go a little bit mad with it. Try and create a few new rods. Scram, remove, close. Now, still active. Still active. Why is it still active? Yeah, because it's got a bit of a cooldown. While it's still literally hot, it can't, you know, you can't go in and take the rods out. Okay, let's just go and create a few more of them. So that'll do. So we've got 10. And we're just going to show as well what happens if you do try to put too many in. Resting, no you're not. I wonder if I have to click that 10 times. Okay, that's a nice place to be in your survival meal there. Slightly optimistic the packaging on it or something. Yeah, he's going to keep wanting to sleep. I could just change the restriction, but that's a little bit boring. We're just going to run that up at 50%. Okay, pause game and start, and we're going to go. I still had that set at 100, so I'm glad I had that paused. So we're going to start it at 50 and see what happens. Okay, yeah, stable temperature, easy peasy. Right, so there you go. And as them, right, so I've minimised that. You see the game still running in the background, and he's generating needs while he's just stood there. So you want this to be in a comfortable, beautiful room if you're planning on doing that in a sort of live situation. But yeah, you can clear prioritised, and yeah. So what we've got here then: generated power 62 kilowatt, 25% with 10 maximum fuel rods, and basically as they get spent, the amount of power reduces, and that's absolutely fine for one turbine. But yeah, there we go. In terms of processing, yeah, you want to spend these rods as quickly as possible if you want to create lots of warheads. And the other option is you can go. I'll just quickly do finish all on this now, just to show on God mode. If you do just click finish all, that just does everything. So fuel processing. Oh no, I don't even need to do that. You can just create. What's it called? Centrifuge, is it? Oh yeah, cooling tower. That's the other method of cooling if you don't have water on the map. Yeah, and that just takes a lot of steel compared to the rest. Yeah, sorry, what was I looking for? So, plutonium processor, that's it. So, any spent fuel. My advice for this is, because you're going to be handling spent fuel, you want radiation suits researched first, and you're going to want this quite close to the reactor, so they're not hauling long distances. And you just have to haul chem fuel to this, and then it just buffers up a little bit like a research bar, I guess, and creates plutonium to create warheads. But yes, that's going to be for another video, and that will be a weapons video when I get round to it. Suppose what we could do is try and blow up this reactor. Yeah, let's do that. So we need to take auto scram off if you want to blow it up. Scram and... oops, didn't mean to take that one out. So let's spawn. And just to show as well, you can actually create the MOX rods. Are you going to haul them? Loading, removing. Oh yeah, I need to remove one. I accidentally clicked, so see, it's slightly spent. It's got the remaining lifetime on it. Already loaded. Oh, I should have put them a lot closer, really. Okay. The other thing as well, I could put one of these here, just for this next bit. Where you gone? Oh yeah, I've started at 100%, so yeah, that's probably going to blow. No, good, we're stable. Awesome. So yeah, as you see, these sort of Type A reactors are fairly easy to use and not blow up your whole base. Right, on the other hand, if you have one of these Type V reactors, you have a lot more slots. So let's just max that out with fuel and see what happens. So just to showcase it, really. Yeah, that's, oh, okay, that's actually a lot faster than I thought. So yeah, you start getting this, oh, it's got auto scram on, so I'll switch that off. I'm going to have to let that actually blow, but yeah, it's going to, oh, okay, it did scram. Oh, okay, that's very hot, very fast. Let's move him away. Let's see what it does. Yeah, basically Type V. Okay, that was a lot bigger than I thought. Alright, there you go. And that generates nuclear fallout and whatnot. Where did he go? Inside. Okay. In this situation, what you would have to do is build what they're called. Oh, here it is, sarcophagus. So yeah, if you've got enough steel on standby to contain the radiation. Basically he's got that minor radiation sickness at the moment, which is a non-fatal version. It's not radiation poisoning, so he's not going to die from it, but yeah, you need to contain that before he gets sickness. In fact, it gets it a lot faster if you stand him there, I think. No, it's just all over the map, same rate. But yeah, that's pretty much the reason you have it away from your base, or you put it under a mountain or something so it's nicely contained. But yeah, next video will be the weapon systems. And before I leave that, just a quick shout out. So we're going to have a quick shout out to Dubwise, Dubwise, who's the creator of Rimatomics and Rimfella. And yeah, I'll put a link to the mod and whatnot in the description, just for people that haven't found this through Discord. Yeah, awesome mod, go check it out, send some love to Dubs. See ya.